On April 21, 1926, a baby girl was born at 17 Bruton Street in London. She was named Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor, the first child of Prince Albert, Duke of York, and Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon. At the time, no one thought she would one day become queen. Her uncle, Edward, was the heir, and her father was second in line. Elizabeth had a quiet, privileged childhood. She was close to her younger sister, Margaret, and was educated at home by private tutors. Even as a child, Elizabeth was calm, responsible, and observant. She loved animals, especially horses, and dogs, and showed signs of deep discipline and maturity. But destiny shifted in 1936. Her grandfather, King George V, passed away, and her uncle, Edward VIII, became king. However, he abdicated the throne just months later to marry an American divorcee, Wallis Simpson, a decision that shocked the nation and shook the royal family. Elizabeth's shy, reluctant father now became King George VI, and she, at just 10 years old, became the heir presumptive. The pressures of this new future didn't stop her from growing up with dignity. When World War II broke out in 1939, Elizabeth and Margaret were moved to Windsor Castle for safety. In 1940, at just 14, she gave her first public broadcast, speaking to other children evacuated from cities. By 18, she joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service training as a mechanic and driver, becoming the first female royal to serve in the armed forces. During the war, Elizabeth began writing to Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, a distant cousin serving in the Royal Navy. They had met when she was just 13, and her affection for him grew over the years. After the war, in 1947, their engagement was announced. On November 20, 1947, Princess Elizabeth married Prince Philip at Westminster Abbey. It was a grand event in a country still recovering from war. Philip gave up his foreign titles and became the Duke of Edinburgh. Their love was real and deep, and over the decades, they would share 4 children: Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. Then came the moment that changed everything. In February 1952, while Elizabeth and Philip were on a royal tour in Kenya, news reached them that King George VI had died. At just 25, Elizabeth became queen. She returned home immediately, where her new life began. Her coronation in 1953 was a historic spectacle, first to be televised. Millions watched as a young woman, calm and dignified, promised to serve her people for life. And she meant it. As queen, Elizabeth II quickly became a figure of stability in a changing world. The British Empire was transforming rapidly, with many nations gaining independence. Elizabeth helped shape a new relationship, the Commonwealth of Nations, a voluntary union of countries tied together by shared history, values, and respect. Throughout the 50s and 60s, Elizabeth toured the world. She became the most widely traveled monarch in history, visiting over 100 countries during her reign. She took her role